seeds. So we're doing, they like this for some reason, which is remarkable because it's a good treat for us. And we are underway. We do have 300 rupees in Link's house.
Well, that is certainly a place to get some rupees. You're going to want some number of them to start with for sure.
And we'll get this synced up for you in a moment as well. Furaime is not underway yet on his side, so we'll sync this up for you when we can. Solski is carrying a sign towards the castle and kills one of the enemies out front there, heading over to the tree pull. We're seeing single green rupees. Not a very useful tree pull today. I see Goria back there in the back of Escape, or lower Escape. Ooh, Pokey. That's dangerous.
Yeah, those are gonna hit you hard and fast.
Ooh.
Looks like we got bombs from the bush crab today.
We had the power glove for Solski as well in the uncle's chest. And a piece of heart in the sanctuary. So power glove will be a very useful item. That will give some access to some potential avenues. We don't have the lamp to go to Death Mountain yet, but if Solski wanted to, he could just walk right up to Death Mountain right now if he wanted to with that power.
In Randomizer, that's not always the world's greatest idea.
Not at all.
Especially when you can't see what's going on. And if you actually make it to the second half of the cave and get the old man behind you, then you have to finish it.
Yeah, if you save and continue, you have to finish it. If you don't save and you just go get out of here quick, you don't have to retry.
All right, so sword acquired in the Lost Woods and some bombs as well.
Solski also picking up those bombs should get his sword. Actually, he did get his sword as well, it looks like.
Yep.
And we're syncing him up right now. So Solski is frozen in suspended animation while we sync it up here. Holding those bombs very, very happily. He's a happy eggplant.
All right, there we go. Solski is noping out of the Lost Woods at the moment.
And Furaime is heading into the back of Blind's hut. Solski returns to Sanctuary, probably heading over to Kakariko himself, following Furaime. And what will Furaime
I think he's probably going to the back of Escape.
Oh. No, he's going to the right. Interesting. Here's the flute in Blind's hut, by the way. A big 20. Piece of heart. And there's the Master Sword.
Yep, that's all we're going to see today. We will not see another sword in this game.
Yep, that's one of the differences as we find the cape there as well. That's one of the differences with expert difficulty. You don't have the butter sword, you don't have the tempered sword. You only get the master sword, and that's the best blade you're going to have. So he is, as far as we are concerned, fully equipped. The other two sword upgrades are in the pool, however, they will just turn into regular big 20s.
And of course, the silver arrows do still exist in expert mode. Once again, just like hard, they only work in Ganon's room.
Correct. That means no quick boss kills today.
Speaking of arrows, we've
Bow
got
and Quake.
Yeah, bow, quake, plenty of items to find here in Kakariko Village, as tends to be the case.
Yep.
Furaime is 3 rupees short.
Furaime was practicing his flute on his way over to the windmill, using the song right now to unlock it. And the duck is unstuck, and Swag Duck Air is now open.
There we go.
Ooh, we had a thief inside the chicken hut today. No chickens, though.
Yeah, so we do turn on killable thieves here in Randomizer. That make it where you can get rid of the thieves because nobody likes them.
Yeah, they get a little annoying just bumping you around and stealing your bombs and money from you if you need it for, from Zora. There's one of those chickens, by the way. There's a fish wandering around. We're going to take that over to the merchant right now.
Well, that is certainly a way to get some cash. Yeah. The thing is, Furaime just hasn't been to his own house that has 300 rupees in it.
He gets a whole collection of stuff for that. Bombs, arrows, money.
All right, so 2 bottles now, both of which have blue goo, but of course the blue goo in the bottles is significantly less good in expert mode.
Moon
that
Pearl from the
is a
Sick
Moon
Kid.
Pearl.
So we have some access, some Dark World walkability at this point. Now we just need the full Dark World access.
All right, checking out the library. We've got
Big 20.
Big 20. And Furaime going directly for the race game, not bothering with checking it first.
Different runners have a different opinion on this. Some will check it on the bottom and make sure it's something they need. That can be quicker than just running the game like Furaime is, but if it turns out to be something that they need, Furaime would save time over the person who checks, because the person who checks has to then come back and race through. In this case, the person checking would win out because it's just 10 arrows.
She's going to go ahead and pick up. And if you're going to flute away, there's really no reason not to just go for it.
10 more arrows on the desert ledge. We won't be seeing those. There's a fish flopping around the desert.
And Furaime going directly for Agina's cave, which is sort of an out-of-the-way play.
The flute makes it much more convenient, though. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. The flute makes it much more convenient, though, because you can just flute there. It's not as much of a walk going from the Misery Mire rock spot, which is what Solski is also doing. Just 10 arrows there today.
Well, we have been on a streak of arrows here.
The seed is suggesting that we will need those arrows today.
You would think so.
Furaime now looks like he's going to head up to the escape area right now. It's interesting that 7 minutes in he hasn't done this yet, so he's going to get that done now. He at least can use his blade on the enemies out here, if he so wishes.
Yep, and he will be able to go inside the building and actually get some stuff done if he wants.
Mm-hmm. And he'll also get his power glove back here as well.
Right. And if he's really, really crazy, he could go for Aga Tower.
Yeah, he would have to be really crazy. Like, an unknown level of crazy.
Like, you'd have to do it in the dark, for one, and it's also Randomizer, so no.
No, thank you.
No, the runners did Chicken Hut.
Yeah, Chicken Hut, I think it actually had more arrows, didn't it? Or just money?
Something like that.
And just 5 rupees in the flood spot today, so that won't be of any worthwhile use. There's the... I'm going to assume that's actually is the red Igor, the one that has to be killed with the arrow. The green one looks like he has the gray palette in the overworld today. So we're getting our look at what used to be called Mini Moldorm Cave. I say what used to be because usually there's 4 Mini Moldorm out here. I don't even know what is in here right now. Looks like it's all the enemies from Ice Palette.
When you walk in and it's nothing, it's those black
Pretty much.
grasshopper things.
And he kills the black grasshoppers and makes his way into the northern room full of treasure. And what do we have up here today? We have a mirror. We have 20 bucks. We have 5 bucks. We have a piece of heart, and we have 5 bucks. So 30 bucks, a piece of heart, and a mirror. The mirror, the only thing really worth picking up at this point.
But it is pretty good to have that mirror on hand. Especially with the flute giving you access to Death Mountain, you can actually get to Tower of Hera now.
Interestingly, he heads over to the witch, takes the mushroom. So he's going to do the mushroom check for the witch right now. Walked in without realizing he forgot to give the mushroom to the witch out front, so he's going to head back out and do the proper process here.
Just a big 20.
Yep, not worth it. We're probably not gonna stop and pick up any medicine because for the price that the medicine goes for, it isn't really worth it.
All right, so Furaime gonna go to the back of Escape, get that bottle out of here, and then I imagine he'll probably head for South Shore.
I find it interesting that Solski put off getting the ice rod item, in the ice rod cave. He didn't. He got the flute out, but didn't flute over there on that, or he didn't walk over. He didn't flute over there. I think he just left and headed to Death Mountain. So very interesting move. If there's something at ice rod that could be costly later.
Oh, there's our lamp. It's on top of Spectacle Rock, which, to be honest, I was worried about our fire source possibilities there.
Now,
Hera, but now it's not a problem.
Now here's the interesting thing to think about. Aghanim is now available.
Oh boy. Alright, there's our map check. I believe I saw pendants at Skull Woods and Ice Palace.
I think that was a 5-6 crystal at Thieves Town, crystal number 5, I believe.
Yeah, and I think it was the green pendant at Ice.
I find it interesting we don't have a Light World map check marked off yet, so we must not have seen that yet either.
Alright, so the big key acquired for Solski.
And he takes a Death Warp.
And which the eggplant is now slices.
Sliced eggplant.
It also looked grilled in some way, which actually sounds pretty good right about now, actually.
And a joke hint in Tower of Hera first floor, so that hint we know it's a joke hint because it was green and it had a nice little dig face at the end of it. So we know it's not an important hint. So Furaime is now in Black Grasshopper Cave, as I believe you've redubbed it. Furaime trying to time the bomb throws, not having a lot of success with the... Oh, there you got that one. There he goes.
Nicely done. 5 rupees. The boots are in Eastern Palace. Good to know. Also, we can totally clear Eastern Palace.
Nice bomb jump to get by the squid thing there.
Yeah. Also, interestingly enough, those things will do 2 parts of damage to you if you let them hit you.
Ooh, Wallmaster's on the second to last floor.
Gross.
And Furaime, by the way, did grab the fish and throw it back in the pond, so we actually got to see the fish throw a heart over at Furaime.
But we do see Cold Stare at the top of Tower of Hera, which means can't actually beat it.
Yeah, we'll have to come back there later when we have the bombos or the fire rod. And we're going to see Ice Rod Cave, which Solski did not check. He's, speaking of Solski, he's going to the Eastern Palace vicinity right now. In Ice Rod Cave today, we have just $5, so Solski isn't missing much.
Alright, Solski going directly for Eastern Palace. I imagine we'll see the Saha's Relic a little later. But we do know that this contains the boots, which is going to be a pretty good situation all around.
Yeah, this is a good stop with that hint. Furaime is just abusing the bird right now, calling it not taking any flights. And let's give a temporary pause on Furaime's side here, but Solski is still going. So looking at what Solski is doing here, we do have him going to the first chest. Will these be the boots? Nope, just a couple.
Yeah, so six chests in Eastern, 3 of which will contain dungeon items, and the remaining 3 can contain whatever they need to have.
And Furaime is getting a piece of heart out of the second chest there. So those boots are still at large. They are definitely in there. For all we know, they could be on the boss. And can you just imagine if that was a Trinex guarding the boot?
It does look like Furaime has actually had an internet connection problem.
Yeah,
of some sort. So we'll see what happens. There's the boots. And another joke hint here in Eastern.
Ooh, I love me a good joke hint. And Solski forgets he does not have the big key and tries to open the big chest.
I mean, I'm sure we've all done that at some point.
No one ever does that.
There sure have been a whole lot of power outages in different places recently. I hope that's not a problem.
It happens. Nothing we can do about that when it happens. We'll just have to work with it. So unfortunately, we don't have usable audio for Solski. We are playing regular game music in the stream for you guys right now while we wait for Furaime to come back. Hopefully he does come back. So we are working on no audio situation for us right now. So we're doing the best we can with it. We'll hope that Furaime can come back. Big key for Solski. He will go with that big chest now. Of course, we knew it had to be there. That was the only chest it could be in.
Yep, good old vanilla big key spot.
And there's a big 20 in the big chest, so not of much worth. Solski does have his lamp. He is going to go back to the back of Eastern Palace. Let's see what kind of fun shenanigans we have back here, because there's usually a bunch of enemies back here.
This is a room that can be a actual literal nightmare in Randomizer.
Got away scot-free today. Just a lot of digging enemies in there.
And the room right before the boss can also be just the worst.
Yep, that's another 8 enemy room. Usually has 2 Igors and 6 squids. So that can put 8 castle guards in there. That is asking for trouble. Ooh, we have a bomb thrower.
Yeah, that's a Hinox.
Correct.
Yeah, which is interesting because like Hinoxes are in this game.
Oh, speaking of Hinoxes.
Oh boy. And then they made a comeback in Breath of the Wild, which is funny.
And just like that, the Hinox has turned into rather weak creatures, and on Solski goes to the boss, who is Argus.
Yep, Argus, of course, no hookshot yet, so that's another boss that you can reach and not defeat.
But we got the boots. That's what counts right now. So we're out of there, and we're going to move on. And we're checking Sahasrara's hut, which I don't think he's checked yet, interestingly enough. So we're going to get to see what's back there right now. He, today, contains a 5 rupee collectible, a 20 rupee collectible, and another 20 rupee collectible. Just stealing the man's money.
I bet one of those was a sword.
It very possibly was. Solski did go to Link's house and must have made a mistake because he left and went to Sanctuary. Gets his free heal from the man there. By the way, you do only get 9 hearts in expert mode. So if you thought having shuffled bosses was bad, try doing them with only 4 or 5 hearts.
Yeah, and there's no mail upgrades either, which is... that's the part that scares me about this.
That's the really hard part, yeah. I mean, it's not insane difficulty, which would be even worse. We won't even talk about that 3-heart nonsense, but not a lot of runners dare even attempt.
Yeah, if I ever sit down to do an insane difficulty seed, please stop me.
Solski goes back to Sanctuary, heads back out again. And let's see where he heads this time. Going to the left, going to the west. Going north, is he... He's already done Lost Woods, I think. So what is he going to be doing up here? Bonking a tree.
Oh, he's setting up for Houlihan. This is a setup for Houlihan. Oh, I've tried bees before.
And he gets it.
Bee miser.
He gets it, and in he goes. So this room named for Chris Houlihan, who I reconfirmed last night because I had forgotten who he was, Nintendo Power Contest winner, and apparently the contest was involving a completely different game, interestingly enough.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, insane difficulty is a thing. It exists, and it's a nightmare. You get 3 hearts the whole time. You never get any upgrades. Unless you're playing swordless, silvers don't exist. Just a whole lot of straight-up garbage.
Solski getting his $5 from the Ice Rod room, which Furaime had checked already.
So, at this point, I mean, it actually does look like Aga might be the play.
I think so. By the way, I can see that Furaime did come back online just about a minute ago, so assuming he gets his stream back up, we're going to probably have him back in about 15 minutes or so. So or 20 minutes or so, I should say. So once he's back, we'll see that, obviously.
All right, so hopefully we will see Furaime come back soon. We've got Ether Medallion and 20 rupees, and Solski's gonna throw a bottle. And we've got bees.
Which at least is better than all the healing items that won't do very much today, so I guess we'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, the healing items will do something.
But not much.
Yeah. And to be fair, they also work, like, completely in places where you need them, so things like Spike Cave.
I was just about to mention that, too. In Spike Cave, you can actually abuse the red or the blue potions by walking into Spike Cave, drinking it, and there you go.
And Zora, also a big 20. That's basically it in the checks department. I think Aga 1 is the play.
We're doing Aga 1, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's what we have to do. And I think Solski has realized that because he's gone back to Link's house. There's not much else to do down here. He uncovers the mine, grabs the duck. He must have thought of something else suddenly. Going into Death Mountain, did he not do the old man yet?
Yeah, he didn't come here in the dark, and so yeah. Turns out getting through here in the dark would have been okay. It wouldn't have been super easy, but as long as you hold out your sword, I think you're going to be fine.
I think I saw some Zyzax in that first room. That can be difficult.
Well, there's a Hinox there, but he's stuck in the wall. So that's one of the things. You get stuck in the wall, or enemies get stuck in the wall a lot in that room. Just another big 20 from the old man, and that's it.
Yeah, there's not much for him to do. He's just going to let the vulture circle around him while he summons the duck again, and back to Link's house. We're going to do this again. So up we go to Aghanim's Tower, and let's just see how nasty this Aghanim's Tower decides it wants to be today.
I think Solski's probably going to do Front of Escape first, because I don't think he's done that.
Yeah, it looks like he is heading up to the second floor, so he is going to be going to the back, and he will then have to save and quit back out or make his way properly to the end.
Yeah, it's possible this chest could have what we're looking for. You know, a hammer, basically, you know, a hammer gets you the Dark World access. Another glove gets you the Dark World access. Plenty of things you can go.
Solski a little impatient with that red jellyfish. Finally, just swats it, even though it's electrified. Takes the heart of damage.
There's the second glove.
Mitt. Oh, we might not need Aga after all. We'll find out later, but that should give us some Dark World access.
Yep. Like the only scenario now in which Dark World, or in which Aga is required, involves the hammer at the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see that.
Which is theoretically possible.
In theory, it is possible, and there might have been the odd scene where it has happened, but it is very, very unusual for it to happen. And it's just one of those cases of, I don't know, Schrodinger's bad luck or something like that.
Yeah, of course, Aga's going to be required eventually.
Yeah, eventually it is. Just in this mode, runners usually like to wait until it's the last dungeon to do, because you can complete Aghanim, get a free health and magic refill, and you're off to Ganon. And takes out the Igor guarding the $20.
Yeah, so people in the chat are, you know, they're talking like I didn't know this was all dungeons, and to be fair, I forgot.
Easy to do. So we're off to Misery Mire now that that's opened up. So let's see what the Mire Shed, and also Checkerboard Cave is also available today, and we can also backdoor into Desert Palace at this point without the book. Looks like Quake is required for Misery Mire today. Isn't that convenient? We have Quake.
Yep, there is that. We also have Ether, but we don't know anything about that requirement yet. Solski going for Checkerboard Cave.
Yep, get him out of the way, and yeah, we don't know if Balls will be needed today yet either. But of course, we will need that possibly for Cold Star if we don't find the Fire Rod anyway. And looks like he's going to try and backdoor Desert Palace at this point. So there are two items that are not dungeon items in here. We have a big key, of course. We have a small key that locks the right side, the map compass that are in every dungeon, and two other items. The hope is that we find those 2 items quickly and don't have to check all the chests. There's a hint, some cash in Ganon's tower. Well, thanks, game. Out of 22 chests, we assume that's the case. Thank you very much. I should say 27 chests. There is a small key, so we are going to be going to the right side. And we did see the map, I believe, was on the torch as well. There is the big key. And that's our first item, Big 20.
Well, there we go. Not anything we're really looking forward to, but we do need to get this crystal taken care of anyway. Solski is going to go for the big chest, it looks like.
So for those joining us a little late, Furaime's internet apparently went out, and as a result, we lost not only the 20 minutes because the runners were on a 20-minute delay, the 20 minutes that he had already gone through at that point, but we're also losing the time while he gets reconnected. So his stream will probably be reconnected now. He did rejoin the SOL room about 10 minutes ago, so his stream is likely back on. He's just we just have to wait out the delay, and it'll be another 10 minutes or so before we see him at the earliest. So hopefully we have him back soon. We'll be able to try to follow what he has that Solski has not, though we may not know where some of those items are if he has found things that we haven't seen yet.
So I hope for his sake it wasn't like a power outage or something that like killed his system. I hope he was still able to play in the time that he has taken to get set back up.
That would be most convenient for him, of course, if that was the case. So, but what I didn't see any comments in the SRL channel, and as a result, I don't think it was that nasty case. If it was, he probably would have said something in the SRL channel about it. So I'm assuming everything is fine. He's just playing in the meantime. Hopefully has recording of it later in case it is needed.
And our boss is Mothula, which is, you know, to be fair, not that bad.
It's beatable.
Yep. Anything outside, like anywhere outside of Mothula's normal room, Mothula's basically a joke.
And the joke falls, and we get a joke item as a result. So that's our second item from Desert Palace. Nothing there. Solski saves and quits, and where now he could go into Mizumara, but he can't really get in the door. He has the boots; he can bonk across the gap if he wants to, but he knows he can't finish it because the King of Smart would be needed. So it looks like he's putting that off until later.
Yeah. Now, of course, the cane could be in there.
It could be.
It's been known to do that in certain iterations of the game. I believe that's where you get it.
Yes. A very specific iteration of the game. So Solsti's going to rob the king now.
Why are you stealing the king's embalmed organs?
He's already dead. He doesn't need them.
Okay. Alright, Solski getting the flute out again. We'll see where he decides to go. Looks like we will be heading to West Dark World. for a potential Skullwoods and/or Thievestown check.
Ooh, Beamos is guarding that rock today, doing a very good job.
So, nobody likes Beamos.
He does a couple rage slashes with another one.
Beamos can officially go away, as far as I'm concerned. So the bosses we know that Desert is Moth, which we've killed. We know that Hera is Cold Stare, and we know that Eastern Palace is Argus. There's a cane, but it's not the one we're looking for.
The incorrect cane has been found, but Brian, your cane has been located. Please go to the Village of Outcasts to claim it.
Mm-hmm.
You're now in the C-shaped house, called because it looks like a C. Doesn't seem to match the exterior of the house at all, just a heart piece in there.
And Solski is not heading into Thievestown just yet. That does make sense given the fact that we have not found the hammer.
Right. Everything except that one chest can be cleared, but sometimes it will bug a runner to not be able to get that chest until later. It looks like the item was the third item today. He stopped immediately, or was that big 20 the item?
Yeah, the big 20 was the item.
Yeah, so 2 digs for a big 20 and you're out of there. Time to pick up Jeremiah the Bullfrog and take him home.
So if you can't hear the sound, one way you can tell that the item is the item and not just a random big 20 is the random ones will have a little bit of a flashing animation on them.
Correct.
Whereas the other one will just not.
Okay, it looks like we do have audio for Solski now, so we are hearing his audio at this point. Getting the bombs from the lumberjack. And we are now getting the purple chest check, so he's going to do the tour of the Grove area, going to do a couple of mirror checks in Cave 45. Actually, we don't have the shovel spot, so we can't do the shovel spot yet. So he's going to probably get Stumpy, going to do Cave 45, going to make his way from there to Thief and get the item inside this chest, and accidentally leave the chest behind.
Yeah, I think he's left it behind on purpose, just so he can dash around.
Probably.
But he's going to need to pick it up before he mirrors.
Yeah, it looks like a convenient spot for him to leave it temporarily because it's near the K45 entrance. And for those wondering why it's called K45 and not something like Cave near Grove or something like that, when we were coming up with names for this, they were using a map, and the map that refers to that cave has different numbers for all the different caves, and that cave has number 45 on it, and K45 just stuck for it.
All right, Solski gonna go turn in that purple chest. I've seen this purple chest just have a stupid amount of things recently, and I don't know why.
Oh, we have Furaime back. So our tracker will get, we'll see what we can get caught up there. I see he did pick up Ether Medallion, so we can mark that off. We're going to try and work out what he has and get the tracker up to date. Feel free to help with that if we do miss something, chat. We're going to get a look at Hype Cave from Solski here. So, again, Furaime might have done this. We don't know. But we'll see sooner or later. Solski picks up the $5 at the front of the Hype Cave, and the rest of the chests contain a small shield, $50, another $20, and 10 wooden sticks. Dr. Bob-tastic, rate that Hype Cave.
I'm going to go with about -1.
Yep. I can see that coming. So Solski warps back to Kakariko and heads back to the portal to go to likely Thieves Town at this point. Gonna have to wait out that BMOS again or try to juke it. There it goes. Good juke. Looks like Furaime might have given up and is going to Aghanim. So he has the Titansman. I wonder why he's doing Aghanim right now.
Well, I mean, he's got to do it eventually.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
And he's here. I guess that's the way it.
He must be thinking. He must be thinking about the either Pyramid Fairy or must be thinking about the possibility that maybe there's something at the pyramid that he needs. Maybe that's why he's doing it.
Both players have checked the tree actually, and it's just 50 rupees.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing as 50 rupees at the tree, so they're not doing it for the tree. Now, there's always the possibility that the hammer could be hiding somewhere in... Yeah, they don't have the flippers. The hammer could be hiding in Palace of Darkness as well, which, by the way, would be so grossly vanilla.
Very true. Now,
and there's a bag of spice for Solski.
Yeah, powder is there. Now, unfortunately, powder really not that helpful in expert mode.
Solski gets turned into a peach. That's his bunny sprite. So turns back into an eggplant. And personally, I like the peach myself.
I'm not touching that one. Alright, so yeah, it's still a single heart for powdering anti-fairy.
Yeah, it is a single heart, so you can still get, for example, that one room in Turtle Rock where the 4 of them come after you. You can powder all of them to get 4 hearts, but that's all you get, a single heart for each one. At least they still get hearts, and in the same difficulty, you get Bs.
Yeah, I had to go look it up real quick, because I was like, I know at some point it turns into Bs, which is just hilarious.
I don't know if Solski actually got to see that hint. Did he see that hint?
He saw it. It said some cash was in the big chest of swamp. So we know that we don't need big key there.
And we never played the blue ball guessing game. I'm just gonna say 3 because we're late.
Yeah, seems legit.
I think that's the first one. That's the second one.
Bunch of cash in the attic of Thieves Town.
We are getting guesses in chat for the blue balls now. So the way this Aghanim fight works is you get to reflect these orbs back at him by spinning your sword or just slashing it normally with a sword, or even a bug net if you're so inclined. But once in a while, he will fire these shots that are just blue and split up, and you can't fire those back at him. It looks like he did fire 3 of them. If that's right, then this hit will take him down. And there it is. Solski is heading into the basement chest of Thieves Town now. If the hammer is down here, that might that would be a very fortuitous location for it. Nope, just a map.
Why is Furaime not looking at the item on the pyramid?
That is a good question. I was wondering that too. I'm very curious about that. I'm wondering if... It makes me wonder if there was a power outage of some sort, and he already knew what the item on the pyramid was from the first go. I'm actually wondering that now.
Anyway, looks like Solski ran into another boss we can't kill. Yet another cold stare at Thieves Town.
So that's 2 gold stare. Ah. So for those coming late, we'll just explain what kind of seed this is. As you see, we do have the icons at the top between the 2 names. We have an all dungeons open mode, which is what the link head is. Zelda means standard. The question mark means randomized swords, and they can only get 2 of those swords in expert difficulty, which is what the E stands for. And then that last icon represents Randomizer, which means the enemies are all over the place, such as that Lionel down here in the Skull Woods area.
Yep. That's a truly harrowing experience. You see one of those.
Indeed. Especially with the Master Sword.
Alright, so Furaime has located or made his way into Palace of Darkness.
We found more hands. Solski does take that heart from the anti-fairy, gets the big key. Looks like he might be trying to do the bomb jump. Oh, he's gonna hover.
Oh.
And it gets handled! No bomb!
I think hovering with one of those wall masters or clutches in the room is, not a easy proposition, but Solski pulls it off eventually.
He does it. This time he waited and killed the wall master and then did his hover immediately. And there's a friendly V.
Yes, there actually is a Festive Rando already. It has been released recently, and the daily races for today here are actually going to be festive. So,
oh, very interesting. I'll have to go back and watch one of those later. Yeah, the Festive Rando this year has you saving apparently the 8 reindeer and 2 dungeons literally have lumps of coal. The pedestal basically is not really something you even think about. Actually,
well, the 3 pendants are actually just baubles that are items in the pool now.
Yeah, exactly. So once you find those, you can get the pedestal, obviously.
All right, so Furaime got the big key of pod and a small key in the back here. He's on 1 heart with some pokies in the area, which pokies deal 4, so that's...
That would be instant death for Solski.
Alright, looks like Solski's trying to set up the water wall glitch here to get to the east side of the Dark World, and he does have it set up there. You can tell that he was able to walk up and down that staircase rather quickly with the sword held out. That's how you know you're in the right state. There's the hook shot!
Oh! So Furaime is our first rider to find the hook shot in the dark maze. And Furaime is happy with that and says, I'm going to blow myself up, and does so.
And it doesn't look like he's gonna attempt to finish the dungeon.
He knows an Randomizer could be any boss back there, so it's going to go to Eastern Palace and take his chances here. He also knows that he can use that hook shot on Argus in Eastern Palace and clear it right now. It would be a pendant.
I just don't think he's actually been to Eastern. Well, no, maybe he's
skipping the chest. I think he has. He hasn't been in the big chest yet, apparently, but we'll see when he comes to the next chest here, because this is I think the map chest is going to be coming up to next.
Well, he hasn't been using the boots, so yeah,
no,
he hasn't opened this chest.
I wonder if he did the first couple and left. Or if he's just gambling that maybe they're not required.
Okay, he was here, but then it crashed apparently on him.
Okay, so he was here before, opened those first two chests, and then his I guess it must have been a power outage from the sounds of it. Yeah, that would make sense.
So I think this is still on a 20-minute delay. It's just...
It is.
Came later.
Yeah, he got the stream up as soon as he could, and I saw him come into the SRL channel. I think it was after he got the stream back up, so we just had to wait for the stream to catch up with us again at that point. And obviously this is why we don't have a timer for him now. We did have it synced up before. We're just going to go with whatever we have now because his timer obviously got reset with the power going out as well, so he just started up again as soon as he could. Got a fish flopping around the Palace of Darkness area where Solski just was walking. We still have to pay off Kiki the Monkey, which I believe Furaime already did. Because he got the hook shot, and Solski's going to be getting that sooner or later. So Furaime doesn't even know that Argus is back here. This will be a good discovery for him to find that with the hookshot in hand.
Well, like we were saying, I think he may know it.
Oh,
like, he may have, but he lost the progress, so... And I think that's why he was coming over here, is because he knew the hookshot was there.
Oh yeah, maybe he did do the sweep of all the items and just remembered where the boosts were. That would make sense too.
That is definitely the Hinox convention.
But we did see one of the runners use Quake on them earlier, and that worked out very well. Solski is told he probably would like to have more bombs. Nope, we're good. And Argus is blue today. Or more like a green, I guess.
Yep, all about that color palette that gets used in different spots. And he did flash his normal red there.
So all the Argai are dead, and all we have to do is get rid of the Calamari at this point. And the Calamari is made.
And now his ghost goes and haunts a ship in Super Metroid.
Ooh. And for anyone asking in chat, the hookshot was found in the dark maze of a Palace of Darkness, second chest.
Alright, so Furaime now heading up to Bonk Rocks.
Solski, meanwhile, continuing his trek into Palace of Darkness, had gone back to the front door, going back through. Gonna stop, pick up this $5 on the way.
So we will have official times when they're completed, because we are monitoring the IRC chat. Harmless Hellway, not quite as harmless today.
And there was a key in that chest there. Just interesting note there, keys in the dungeons can lock themselves. So in this case, if Solski had skipped that room, he would never have needed to pick up that key because that room is locked behind a key door. Furaime trying to get through Paradox Cave right now. First bomb failed, second bomb succeeds. And I'm not sure if, yeah, I think Solski, was he over here already?
No, I mean, this is his hook shot right here, so.
No, I mean, we're in Paradox Cave.
Oh, no, you would need the hook shot or the hammer to get
Yeah,
here.
that's true. So this is our first look at Paradox Cave then. So we're going to get to see 5 more new items up here. The bottom chests weren't worthwhile. The top chests so far are equally as unworthwhile. Continue to be unworthwhile. And basically a waste of time.
Oh, there's a shield, which is the only shield you will get in expert mode.
Expert mode brought to you by Fisher Price. The only shield you ever need.
And into Super Bunny Cave for Furaime.
Nice use of a hook shot glitch there to hook shot onto the block as it's moving. And 2 chests in Super Bunny Cave will give you 5 rupees. And
a hammer!
The hammer!
All right, hammer is one of those important items, you know?
Yeah, it definitely is one of those important items. Now, just thinking back to where the hook shot was. The hook shot was in Palace of Darkness. We could not, I believe we could not get to Palace of Darkness without going through Aghanim. And we needed that hook shot to get to the hammer. So, is it safe to say at this point Aghanim was required for progression?
Well, I mean, without, you know, logically, yes.
Yes, logically.
Solski, of course, as we can tell, is over here without having done Aga because of the water walking glitch.
Of course. I'm referring to logically, not glitches. You could naturally hover across the bridge in Death Mountain as well if you were so inclined.
Actually, no, that's a ledge.
Oh, that one doesn't?
Yeah, that's not a hole, that's a ledge.
Oh, okay.
It's like the one in Swamp.
Ah, okay.
Hey,
There's
silver arrows.
So they're useless for right now, but they will be useful when we fight Ganon later. That roller's gonna make things a little tricky.
Alright, so nothing else really important there.
we're getting our check of Spiral Cave now. The boots will make this a lot quicker than it otherwise would have been. A couple chickens in here today. And a couple of those dark grasshoppers you mentioned earlier.
All right, 5 rupees in Spiral Cave.
So Furaime looks like he's heading over to the Misery Mire area right now. Solski is going to check the paradoxically bad cave. Furaime gets his Quake confirmation.
So we have, so we did have the Ether Medallion for the, for Turtle Rock, but of course the Ether Medallion was actually locked behind the flippers in Logic. So, before...
Where was Ether again?
It was in the waterfall.
Ah, yes, that is behind flippers.
So we'll need to find the flippers before the game will logically expect us to do Turtle Rock.
Correct. That's what we refer to in the community as a sequence break. If you do things in a way that involves a glitch, and you're not playing a seed that expects you to do glitches, then it's not logically possible to do those things that is considered a sequence break. You have to eventually find that item that would close the sequence break to know that you are back in Logic.
And you are, of course, going to need the flippers at some point just to beat Swamp Palace, so...
Correct.
So that will, you know, basically tell you that if you're looking for the flippers, you know, Turtle Rock is not the place to be looking for them.
And to answer another question in chat, we have not seen the Trinex yet today, so Trinex is still at large. And maybe possibly may have no Trinex. A boss can appear multiple times, and some bosses can be excommunicated from the game as a result.
There is that. Oof.
And Solski gets nailed by the spike there, by the trap.
Somebody call Admiral Akbar.
And the convenient hook shot back across is gone now, so he has to hover across. Makes it.
Now you're just showing off.
Yeah, now he's just showing off. There's no reason to do this one. Then hook shots to the chest, of course.
Well, yeah, it's faster.
I'm not sure if we saw what was on the Lonely Island today. Have you seen that?
Not that I can remember. Let's see if Solski decides to go inside and check the hint.
According to Chad, it's 5 bombs on the floating island, so nothing worthwhile. Solski is checking the hint.
Rip.
Wah, wah, wah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
It's happening!
This is the ultimate form of showing off, ladies and gentlemen. The ultimate form of showing off. So now he's going to try to hover up, around, and down to get the first chest. I have seen this done once before. I think it was Andy who did it. I don't think I've seen anyone else ever do this.
The only person I've seen do this is TGH, actually.
That might have been TGH. I thought it was Andy I saw doing it.
Oh, Solski
and
not quite
no
getting
hearts.
this. Takes the death.
And enough of that. Probably having a little fun. He knew Furaime had a power outage at one point, so probably just having a little fun to make up for the difference.
So he's also going to check Spiral Cave.
Furaime, meanwhile, is checking Wipe Cave.
Is that what we're going to use it for here in a minute?
Yeah, it was a garbage, so why not? And Solski takes his life refill from the old man. Is going to head up to Death Mountain. No, he's just to get the flute.
So, one thing that's true is Spike Cave is now in logic for both runners. Neither of them has checked it.
Probably just checking K45, getting his goo there. Solski juking out the Beamos once again. Are we getting a bumper cave check? Nope, going straight across.
Looks like we're going for the good old graveyard light.
Furaime finds the 20 bucks in digging game, says nope. Solski finds the 10 bomb pack at Graveyard Legend, says nope. Now to explain that 10 bomb pack, that is something that was added to the item pool when the new Uncle methods of play were released in Randomizer. That 10 bomb item is the only 10 bomb item that is available, and is actually something the Uncle can give you as a randomized weapon in randomized weapon mode when you're playing standard.
Yeah, it was a significantly hyped part of those patch notes, if I recall correctly.
Very, very much so. Meanwhile, Furaime doing hammer pegs with a guarding Beamos.
And Solski going right behind. Hey,
ooh,
Bombos.
We have all the medallions. The coin collection is complete.
Yep. And we could end up finding, like, the fire rod over in Ice Palace, which is always fun.
We could at this point.
Now, that being said, we don't have logical access to ice.
Now we just see a pair of flippers.
And they're going to be here on the Magic Bat, so...
They have to be. Chat wants Fire Rod to be held by a Cold Stare.
That could very well be a thing.
Looks like we're wrong.
Yeah, there was a Cold Stare in Hera that we could access, and I believe another one.
Yeah, Hera and what else did they do?
Thieves Town. Thieves Town.
Oh, what's the Thieves Town? Okay, it was Thieves Town. Okay.
Speaking of Thieves Town,
I don't think we've seen the Palace of Darkness boss yet, have we?
Don't believe so. I don't know why, but neither runner went for the boss.
Yeah, I found that interesting.
I think Furaime may have already done it in the previous, but
we're not getting to see it yet because he may know something we don't.
Oh yeah, neither of them had the hammer at the time. Duh.
Oh! Okay.
I'm a dumb.
I think I joined you on that one. So yeah, there's one of our cold stare. Time to, thought.
Speaking of the hammer, so that's going to be useful here, and also the big chest is in logic.
Well, if the item is on cold stare right now, then the big I didn't do the item count Thieves Town, so
I
may
think
be possible that
I think both cold stare and the big chest have an item.
Oh, interesting.
Because Solski has the map and compass.
Yeah, then they both have an item then. Unless he hasn't picked up the small key, but it looks like he does have it. And Solski is thinking about his life choices. Does he really want to take on cold stare again right now? Decides to go back in.
This right here is why the expert Randomizer situation is so frightening to me.
Those ice particles, I think, do 2 hearts of damage with each one that hits you. And that means that Solski literally has 3 hits from ice, and he's a goner. And he can still take damage from cold stare itself, too, any of those 3 eyes.
And those will do twice that amount of damage for a giant total of 4.
This time he gets him hammered in the corner for 4 hits. Very good start. Going to need a little bit more, though.
I mean, getting hammered in the corner sounds like a pretty bad Friday night.
I'm not touching that one. So there's one of those hits. Actually, that's just a single heart damage. Just took 1 heart there. And he does get the boss fight down. Furaime is also taking on cold stare right now. So 20 rupees for Solski from cold stare. And will he go check the big chest? I don't see why he wouldn't.
Yep, and there we go.
Furaime takes cold stare down, and Solski, as predicted, heading back in. And Link holds his crystal aloft. Admire the crystal. Feel the crystal.
And Furaime going back into Thieves Town now.
Both after the big chest.
Yeah, I think Furaime just actually hasn't done any of the downstairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the thing with Thieves Town and Randomizer is you can just go right to the boss.
Yeah, that is true. Or he may have done some of it and again may have lost it in the his unfortunate situation, but we don't know that.
So it feels like we've checked just a ton of things and still don't have a lot of progress. There's the flippers. All right.
Oh boy.
Just stop me right in my tracks when I start talking, apparently.
Well, we kind of had a feeling they had to be somewhere because we had a sequence break requiring them, so we're running out of places they could have possibly been at this point.
Looks like Solski's gonna head over to good old Swamp. I think Swamp probably followed immediately by Ice.
Yeah, it makes sense at this point. He can do both dungeons fully. No reason not to.
I mean, provided he can beat the bosses.
Yeah, that's the only possible thing, but at least we can get all the items from the dungeons at the very least. Except for whatever the boss is carrying, of course, in some cases. There's actually something else I just realized as well. While the Fire Rod could be in Ice Palace, remind me if I am mistaken, are the freezers still in their normal spots?
Yes.
Okay, so they still do need to get
not
okay.
minimized.
Good, so they still get their normal thing. Some cash is in Paradox Cave. Thanks, game.
Might as well have just said some complete garbage is in Paradox Cave, because that's basically what was there.
In that case, we also know some complete garbage is in Ganon's Tower.
Very true.
And there's the big key for Solski. The big key actually does not unlock the boss at all. You can go to the boss without that big key. But there is that one, while we know it's a useless chest on the way there that we're not going to have to deal with, that we can't open if we're so inclined now.
Now, we did not get a hint regarding the left side of Swamp here. So
we have not.
I imagine Solski might head that direction, though maybe not immediately.
Nope, he is not doing it immediately. He's not going south yet either. Now, we knew that that had just money in it because we saw a hint for that, but Solski would open it up anyway.
And it looks like Furaime is heading to Skull Woods.
Now, he can't open up the back of Skull Woods yet. He would require the Fire Rod, which he does not have the services of at this point. And now that I'm speaking of it, Solsti's going to probably find it somewhere here in Swamp Palace.
I mean, there is that possibility. I'm still banking on it being in ice.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you have Bombos and you're looking for the Fire Rod, it's in Ice Palace. That's the rule.
Pretty much.
I mean, it's not the actual rule, but you know.
Close enough. Or if the logic of speak of it and it shows up, appears, there it is.
Okay.
I guess the speak of it and it shows up rule came true today.
Yeah, so Ice Rod right here then?
Nope. Nice try.
Worth a shot.
Ironically enough, that'll probably be a nice palace.
Alright, so what is our Swamp Palace boss today? It is another cold stare.
3 cold stare! Ah. So if you want to practice fighting cold stare, this is the seed for you.
Yep, though the Fire Rod is gonna make some of this much easier.
Not if he doesn't have any magic.
I mean, he used it to, you know, off one of them pretty good.
Yeah, earlier.
Alright, just 300 more rupees. And Solski picking up that crystal as well.
That's the third crystal taken for Solski in this seed. He is slightly ahead of Furaime in terms of crystal count, as long as our trackers are updated, of course.
Looks like Furaime is gonna go up to Tower of Hera. And, well, Spike Cave, apparently. I thought he might go for Spike Cave, oh no, he's not doing Spike Cave. I was thinking he might do Spike Cave after Hera.
So Solski is now heading to the west side of Swamp. Again, we have not received any hints for this, as Furaime dodges the Wallmaster and finds his cold stare upstairs in Tower Hera. And he gets out his bombless die, and he is ready to torch the thing. Solski climbs the stairs and heads towards the left side of Swamp, goes through the still traps. Now this is a very, very interesting room to fight Cold Stare in, because you got that big hole in the center that will send you down 2 floors and abruptly end the fight and force you to start over. So this can be a very dangerous Cold Stare arena. Solski meanwhile finds 20 bucks in the first chest on west side. Second chest contains some blueberries.
Yep, well, a whole bunch of garbage today.
Now that's a west side we wouldn't like to hit for.
So, there's a very limited number of enemies that can be randomized into Swamp Palace. Mainly because shallow water does weird things to enemies. And so, like or just water in general. So the like the water tektites and the traps and things like that, that's basically all you can find in some of those rooms.
Furaime doing a good job with this Cold Stare fight. Takes it down right now. So we're going to finally get to see what the Tower of Hera Cold Stare is holding. Just a key. Happy hunting the coffee break.
Oh!
Oh!
So the Cane of Samaria is sitting on the Lake Hylia Island.
It's gotta be Kane on the Lake Hylia Island. Oh my. Now, again, Furaime might have already known that. This is just Solski's first time getting that information.
A bottle and a heart container require a big red bomb. If I'm not mistaken, there's only one full heart container in the pool.
You are correct, and that heart container, ironically enough, is Sank Heart, because it is the only heart container that also would fully heal you. The ones that do not fully heal you, because they're usually after bosses, are all removed.
Another wonderful feature of Randomizer, we've got randomized tile patterns. That's a troll dorm.
That is very interesting.
All right, big key for Solski.
And nothing useful down here.
And as stated before, Furaime going for Spike Cave.
This is the only room where everything is normal in terms of magic usage and things like that. You can even drink a potion here and get your full health back.
Just a big 20.
So Furaime warps over to Aga's tower area and heads back to his house. Looks like he might be making the swamp. Ooh, runs into a roller there. Might be making the Swamp Palace play here.
Yeah, Samaria is on the Lake Hylia Island. I'm surprised we didn't know that already. Like, did nobody go by that when they were doing the fake flipper stuff?
Solski, I don't think, checked it until that moment. And Furaime might have known, but we didn't see him check it if he knew. So if he may even know that already, and we just aren't going to see that he knows that if that is the case. He is meanwhile going to the Pyramid Ferry, which Solski I think is one who got the hint for. So we are going to get to see exactly what Solski already found here.
Yep, well, Furaime is going to get a health refill.
Yep. He could use that. The thief wants to make sure that doesn't happen.
All right.
A Misery Mire key and a Misery Mire big key are in Misery Mire. Well, at least we know where the big key is.
Well, it said it was fire locked, so that's the that's on the left-hand side. And of course, if you have a small key over there, then the big key is also over there. Now, the way that's written, it does seem like the big key is going to be not in the vanilla room. It's going to be in the compass chest. Because the order of that hint matters.
I believe it does, yes.
Not even Sankart, apparently.
Ooh, it is not Sankart. Okay, I thought it would be. So, so much for that. No health refill. Furaime hops into the water next. Oh, this is a very interesting way to check the hobo location. Did you notice that, Bob?
You mean mirroring from the Dark World there?
Yeah, I'd never seen someone do that before.
Yeah, it's a very nice little tech to use. You don't have to swim as far that way.
Yeah, very, very nice. Never seen someone actually do that before.
Now he's gonna go ahead and swim over to the island. To the
island, so he can get. It seems like he does know the King of Samaria is there, so we just didn't see him check that due to his power failures. So he's heading over there to get that right now. That nice little anti-fairy just chilling out there. Free heart. And free cane. And apparently it's a secret to everyone.
That it is. Alright, so Furaime will be following Solski into Ice Palace.
Meanwhile, we have a boss to identify in Ice Palace, which Solski is about to do for us.
Cold Stare 4. Nope.
Nope, it's blind. And Furaime gets the hint about Pyramid Fairy, which he just checked. Thanks, game.
Alright, Solski is employing capes, or has emergency cape strats on hand.
That cape won't last very long. Let's hope he doesn't need to use too much of it. Using the glitch where you can grab the wall and it does not drain your magic. You're going to use the bottle and get a little bit of that magic back. 2 of them, actually. And it's pulling the wall to save magic and getting the blind hits in. And is out of magic.
Oh!
And dies! Ooh!
Oh no, that's awful.
He tried everything he could to save that magic and ran out of it, and fire got him. One hit away.
And yeah, dying at the boss of Ice Palace is just the worst.
So Solski is back in the Dark World. Where is he going now? Back to Palace of Darkness?
Yeah, potentially. Oh, he's gonna go get the cane.
That makes sense. Maybe eager to use that for his future blind attempt. Gonna get some extra magic on hand right now. I have a feeling he might just drink those right away.
I think he flukes to 3 here, gets the magic refill off the tree.
Or not?
No, that's what he's doing. He's getting magic refill off the tree.
Here, okay. Yeah, there it is.
Alright, now it looks like we might be seeing Skull Woods from Solski.
And as we see that, just a quick answer to a question in chat. Can Trinex be in Skull Woods? No, I don't believe it can be. I don't believe the logic... I'm just trying to think offhand if that is even possible. I think Fire Rod to get in. Actually, maybe it can be.
Yeah, I think there are some rooms where certain bosses can't appear, but I don't think Moth's room disallows Trinex. I could be wrong.
Well, we'll see if it shows up there someday, and then we'll know. Meanwhile, we have chat asking for Helmacopter. If Helma Star King ends up in there, you see the tail do some really wild things down there.
Okay, Trinex cannot appear in Skull Woods. That is.
Oh, we have a confirmation. Okay.
Yeah.
The room is just too small. That's the reason for that. Okay, good to know.
Alright, so Furaime or Solski taking a death here. So in Moth's room, like, Moth himself is still one of the worst things you can find there. I think Cold Stare in Moth's room is pretty bad. A lot of things you can see here. Another blind.
Oh, another blind.
This is probably awful.
I'm going to say this is not good. I mean, especially with the conveyor belt. At least the spikes don't come at you, but the conveyor belt just makes this horrible.
Oh no.
Don't run out of magic. Let's go, Solski.
Oh! No!
No!
That is gross.
Oh, that is just horrible. That's 2 deaths to blind in 2 different locations for Solski, and he can't be feeling really good right now.
Alright, so Furaime is employing Cane of Samaria strats here on blind.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you for a moment here. I can confirm at this point that as the stream has caught up, Solski has forfeit the race at this point. He is not completing the race at this point.
Yeah, that... I was wondering when that was official, but yeah, so Solski went ahead and tilted off pretty hard there.
Yeah, after 2 deaths to blind like that, and blind is one of those fights that most runners want to get on script in their normal playthroughs. Of course, that's not an option in Randomizer because you're not getting the princess and setting up to start the fight above him where you're on script. You literally walk into the room and he does whatever he wants to, and that can easily throw a lot of runners who are used to fighting him on a script type of scenario, and a lot of runners, if you ask a lot of runners, one of the harder things to deal with is coming in to fight blind normally after dying to him once. So runners do not like fighting blind in any scenario where he's not coming from a maiden.
Right. So, reading a little bit of what Solski said in chat here, he said he was kind of glad that he tilted out here and raged out because he didn't want to win a race with his opponent having lost like 3 dungeons from a power outage. So now I'm sure if Solski wants to come in and talk about this, we would have no problems with that, but I don't imagine that's something he's particularly interested in.
Yeah, we won't worry about it right now. If he wants to at the end of the race, he's welcome to join us, but we'll wait until later maybe after he cools down from that. He's actually in chat right now, watching us right now. So he's actually with us in chat. If anyone wants to ask questions in the live chat right now, feel free to ask. But yeah, that was absolutely nasty. Dying to blind in both those locations, that's a really tough fight, and everyone I'm sure feels for you. By the way, there's Chompy and Misery Mire.
Oh, hi there. Yeah, so blind is a jerk.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. So Furaime is going to be going to the torch-locked side of Misery Mire if he finds a key, which he does not have. Now he has a key. And he is going to be lighting the torches, and at this point, I think picking up his big key. No waiting out the tiles to see what those patterns have today. I think it was Solski who did that. Oh, actually, no, I lied. It was Furaime who did that, because he cleared Tower of Hera. The key was on Cold Stare.
Yeah, it looks like it's a Moldorm pattern. So technically this mode was chosen by Solski, but he just said, we're going to run back whatever Furaime chose. So... But I mean, to be honest, to pick up the win in this seed, I think actually finishing this seed, period, is probably an achievement in itself.
I will agree with that.
Is so hard.
Expert anything is so hard. Randomizer itself is hard. Combine the two, and you are setting yourself up for something horrible. Just finishing a seed like this is a reward.
Alright, so the Vitreous fight right now seems like it's going to be pretty difficult.
Well, it might not be Vitreous.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
I mean, for all we know, there could be a Trinex down here, and we don't have either of the rods yet because Solski's the only one who knows where one of them is. That fire rod was in Swamp Palace. And that just reminds me, we have not seen the ice rod yet.
Ugh. Just the beatings you take in this dungeon here.
Also, those Ice Palace black things are making their way around today.
All over the place, yeah. Alright, so... Whoops. Yeah, he died, so that reset the switch.
There's a pokey in here, that's dangerous. Oh, it is Vitreous.
Okay. So, Vitreous of course, if you want to use arrows, that's 8 or 3 arrows per eyeball. Wait a minute. The wall is safe.
Today you learn.
Now, yeah, Furaime has 9 arrows, and I think it's good that he's saving some.
Yeah, he wanted to get rid of a few of the eyes anyway, so at least grind down the a little bit of the annoying eyeballs before saving the arrows for the big eye. And now it's time for the big eye to launch.
And down goes Vitreous.
And Vitreous drops nothing of worth. Except for a crystal, that's worth it. So 4 crystals for Furaime at this point. We don't have a timer for him, but we will give you the official time when we actually get to see that later.
Alright, looks like we're going to be heading for Pod now.
It's hard to believe that both runners did this and we still don't know what boss is down here because we didn't have the hammer at that time.
Yep. Well, we will get to see now, finally.
We will. We will.
Though, Furaime is going to go ahead and check the green pendant turn-in. Blah.
An interesting question here. We don't know yet where Trinex is, if it's anywhere along the path at all, obviously. But barring that, assuming that there is no Trinex, could we say that Furaime could possibly be in go mode?
I mean, there is that possibility. We don't know. Again, we don't know about Trinex, but if we don't find a Trinex, then there will be. He does have all he needs to complete the remaining dungeon.
Correct. He's still going to be checking all the chests because he wants to make sure.
He doesn't have the fire rod yet.
He does. Does he need the fire rod for any of the other bosses though? He doesn't have to do Skull.
No, but you need it to get into Skull.
Oh, because you're going to need to do all dungeons. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, all dungeons you would. So yeah, he still needs the fire rod.
But he'll get the fire rod once he does Swamp.
Exactly. Furaime gets out his hammer, whacks a mole. And this is one of those rooms that can be annoying in the dark because this room usually has 6 turtles in it.
Alright, down go the black grasshoppers and on to whatever's in Helmasaur's room.
So this is a boss we do not know about. There's a Stalfos, by the way. Stalfos Knight. Ooh, another video.
Vitreous Part 2.
And this time we don't have enough arrows left, so he's gonna use the bomb strats.
And he's barely got any bombs. Like, this is gonna put a small dent in their health pool, but not a huge one.
Yeah.
The upside here, of course, is that we don't have to deal with goo.
Yeah, he can actually get a little closer. Not that you really want to get closer to a bunch of tiny eyeballs. Of course, the spikes are up top too, so that's gonna block access from the top.
I mean, at least you always know he's paying attention.
Yep. There it goes. So, video number 2, the red form is down, and we just take his lunch.
For some reason, when I see red vitreous, I start conjuring up the voice of Ben Stein.
Yeah.
I think the spikes probably did damage Richards.
Yeah, I saw that discussion in chat. That's a little hypothesis that we were having here for those watching the VOD on YouTube. We're discussing whether the spikes actually did damage to Vitreous, and Vitreous's eye literally comes off those spikes as it launches towards Link after the big one is left. So it's possible those spikes may have helped the fight.
I mean, he only had to slash Vitreous's eyeball like 6 or 7 times with the Master Sword.
Right. That doesn't seem right. I think we can conjure up the Ben Stein wow to that one.
All right, Furaime entering Swamp Palace. This will lead us to the Fire Rod.
And a hint tile. We knew this one already, but nothing of note.
You know what? I missed it, but did Furaime check the hint tile in Agate Tower?
I didn't catch it either if he did. Probably did. So for those wondering where the fire rod was located in here, it's when you drain the water. It's the 2 chests to the south of where you come down. That's where the fire rod is located, in the left chest. So that's where that fire rod will be. And the waterfall is let loose. All right.
To the...
Oh, we haven't seen this yet. I don't think. Did Solski check this chest?
No, he checked it.
Okay. He didn't do it on the first round, so Furaime is getting on the first round.
So I imagine Furaime will head to the back first, but we don't know for sure. And Furaime remembering that the big chest has nothing.
Yeah, just 20 rupees in there today. We did get a hint tile for that. And that fire bar making things a little challenging. He does make it around though, and he goes up to the upstairs, or rather downstairs. Going to drain the dam. And then he will go south and he will pick up his fire rod, and he will be in possible go mode. I only say possible because we don't know where Trinex might be lurking.
If there is that.
So there's the fire.
So we'll get to see some of these other dungeons completed soon. I imagine we'll see a Skull Woods finish after this, and then perhaps Turtle Rock into GT.
Keep in mind, he could also choose to do Skull Woods after Gan's Tower if he's so inclined as well. I know I've seen Redders occasionally do something like that. Since Saga's Tower had to be done already, I don't see why he might not consider doing that, because that would give him the free health refill and that as well. So he may opt to do that.
We will see.
Good work on the Cold Stir fight, and there's the third eye down, and that is the 300 bucks from there.
All right.
That leaves Turtle Rock, and we have not seen a lot of the inside Turtle Rock other than Solski's hover attempt earlier, which didn't get to that first chest. So we don't know anything inside Turtle Rock at all. I think Furaime would be very happy just to find the ice rod somewhere so he can just go mode the rest of the chests in the game.
And does look like Furaime is headed for Skull Woods.
And dealing with the Lionel inside Skull Woods cannot be a picnic, but at least it's hidden behind some bushes and can't really cause any harm. That one, however.
Yeah, luckily, while the Lionels do tend to do a lot of damage and are very difficult to kill outright, they have a AI and movement that's a little exploitable, and you can usually avoid them. All right, so heading into the back of Skull Woods, we will be facing off against Blind here, and this is a awful, awful Blind fight.
Yeah, this is not a good room to fight Blind in.
Just like, imagine like your favorite Toho music playing over this, because it's basically a Toho fight.
I'll opt not to.
Okay.
Furaime, meanwhile, gets turned into a bunny. And is no longer a bunny. And we have calls in chat for Ice Rod on pedestal, which would just be... He could check it, so he could get away with that. Meanwhile, the blocks also move around on the conveyor belt, so... They may make things a little difficult for King of Samaria strats. And Blind comes down to a lower elevation, and that should make it a little bit easier for Furaime.
Interestingly enough, it does look like some part of Blind's script is actually causing the floor to change movements, when a lot of times new bosses don't change movements here. Oh, we're doing pause buffer strats.
This is unusual. He does not want to take a death here. But it's so close, he could do it. Oh, there it is! Oh, he got away from it. Oh, the Samaria block is moving while he's menuing.
Interesting.
One of our tournaments just pointed that out in the chat, and I had to look to see it myself because I thought that was kind of strange. He does take the death, though. As we noted, this blind fight is absolutely horrible. So he's trying to see what item is down here now. He, I don't blame him for finding that blind fight just a little unsavory. And this lends more credence to the theory of possibly putting off this blind fight, see if you can find all the hearts. Hopefully he's not holding that last heart piece and that you have some extra health to do this with, since it is a pendant.
Yeah, so the things that work on blind are hammer, sword, Cane of Samaria, Cane of Burna. And the Cane of Burna,
Cane of Burna, I don't think will.
It deals damage. It just doesn't provide invincibility.
Ah, okay. Furaime gets a heart from the Bunny Beam this time, so no Bunny this time. He is going with full health, so he's going to have better odds, but only about half the magic. Okay, about 2/3 of the magic, I should say. So he is
sword
using
beams.
Sword beams. That is a good strategy.
Sword beams are the best against blind.
And he's using some menu buffering to try and avoid those hits at the last second so he can maintain that full health. This is going much better. This is why it's called expert mode. You have to think of these interesting strats on the fly.
Oof. Takes a hit.
Who takes the hit, but he's in good shape right now. He can still do this. Can use the cane strats and try and get the last 3 hits that way. Misses that one, misses the second one. Gets another hit, and one more hit. Down to 2 health. Can he get the last hit? Don't take the hit for the blind hit. Oh!
So yeah, the blind fight's not doing anyone any favors today.
Not at all.
So the problem with using Burna is you don't get invincibility from Burna in expert mode, so it wouldn't really help you all that much. Also, another thing we haven't even discussed, but unless I'm mistaken, like the hook shot doesn't stun things in expert mode.
You are correct. It's only up to hard difficulty. I can actually go through all the stun rules. The boomerang works in easy and normal. Easy is not in this tournament. The hook shot works on easy, normal, and hard. But in expert, all stunning is off. The most you can do is any kind of natural stun, if there is still any kind of natural stun available. But yeah, the hook shot and boomerang will not do anything in expert. So we're getting the pause strats again here. I'm going to take a hit from Fireball. Ooh, did he dodge it? He dodged it. I thought that was a sure hit.
That's some fancy footwork there.
Getting a sword swing off. I don't know if that one hit. Got that one, took a
definitely
damage. So 1 or 2 more hits here. 1 more hit.
There we go.
Got it! And ladies and gentlemen, Furaime has beaten the horrible blind in Mothula's room and finally gets the pendant. We are 1 Turtle Rock away from Ganon's tower.
All right, and Furaime just going for the pedestal here, because why not?
Why not? Why not? Get your pet hype in chat, ladies and gentlemen, as we do have on the pedestal
10
pendants get you
arrows.
10 wooden sticks. 10 wooden sticks.
Nope, I have to not do that. I had a certain Christmas song pop into my head there. All right, so Furaime now heading to Turtle Rock. Now we don't know what the boss of Turtle Rock is. If it turns out to be vanilla, we could be short an item.
And we don't even know any of the items inside Turtle Rock, but so yeah, depending on what the boss of Turtle Rock is, if it is Trinex, we know the Ice Rod is probably somewhere out here. It can't be in Ganon's tower. If the Ice Rod is not in here anywhere, odds are it's not Trinex. But on that note, we have seen, I think it's just 3 cold stairs, maybe 4, but at least 3. We've seen 2 Viddies. There are bosses we have not seen today. I'm just trying to think through the list here. I don't think we have seen... We have seen an Argus. We have seen a Mothula. We have not seen the Helmusar King. We have not seen Moldorm. We have not seen Landmolos. We have not seen Armosite. So all the easy bosses are pretty much not in the rotation so far today. One of them could be here.
Yep. Who knows? And some mini Helmosaurs and Spike action in the roller room today. Was a roller room, not so much anymore. And we proceed to the back. We've gotten small keys and a big key so far. This room is one of the few rooms that's invariably made easier by Randomizer.
Very much so, very much so. And by the way, Furaime does get his book in the door that if there is a Trinex in here, this would then be a forced double dip if it's outside the dungeon on one of the tablets.
Yep, so book is live. And a giant spike for no reason.
That placement. And let's suck some of your magic away with the beautiful anti-fairy. Key obtained. He's not going to go for the island, which at this point, not knowing if Trinex is still out there and if that Ice Rod is on that island, that could be a risky move. Probably going with the odds that it isn't.
Yeah, it seems unlikely. He might even skip Mimic Cave if he's doing that.
Possible. Possible. The one thing that he will not want to see right now is a Trinex somewhere.
He's even skipping the big chest.
Yeah, he's skipping a lot of chests. He's gambling that with the fact that Trinex is not showing up yet, odds are it's probably not needed. So he's gambling that the Ice Rod is not needed, and he is playing this as if he is in go mode. Though he also needs to find the key still, so he still has, I think...
Well, he found one, so...
That was enough keys, I guess, yep.
Yep.
Ooh, that oddly plays pokey. Just chilling on the island in the dark.
Ooh, that floating skull just kind of sitting there.
Yep.
Is really awful. Because those things deal a ton of damage. And he was like a pixel outside the hitbox.
You wouldn't think they would, but they do. And Furaime realizing he can skip Laser Bridge because he's playing Go mode and he has a key. So off he goes to the whatever the boss is. Oh, just another one of the harder bosses, so another Argus fight.
Argus it is, doing the double pull and spin strat here.
Yep, matches the first time I did the fight, and this time a blue hue. So Argus moved his fish and chips business to Turtle Rocket, looks like, today. And there we go. The final R guy is down. Yes, that is the name of him, the R guy. Those little things. And Furaime is.
What if it's somebody else's
more
guy?
Calamari. Yeah, maybe. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to play a game in our live chat. We have 22 chests where the Ganon's Tower Big Key can be located. Pick a chest, 122. And if you are a subscriber to the channel or have donated 250 or more bits throughout your time in this channel, you are welcome to get your guess in. It will count for the game. Dr. Bob, where do you think that chest is today?
Well, my official guess is, my official guess is usually Bob's chest because, I mean, it has to be there.
Will that be a 14 or an 18 for you based on what the runners sometimes do?
Well, I went with 14 today, but I don't know which one he'll tend to.
Yeah.
What he'll tend to do here. And
if he does full right, it could be 18 or even 19 if he does Tower Room. I just say 11 because, well, always. And we have to close the game now anyway, as Furaime is now entering Ganon's Tower. And if you're hearing this, it's too late to get your guess in. So good luck to those who made a guess, and let's see where that key is. Probably a number 1.
Whoa!
Yeah, look at that.
Dude.
I just threw that out there. I didn't expect that to happen.
Cyclone, you just keep doing that.
I mean, look, all the easy stuff has been purged from the boss pool, so we had to have something easy.
There you go.
So there's your winning guess for the day. Unfortunately, 2 ones that I have does not count. Fluffy Mittens, with the exact guess of 1, is the winner today, and welcome to the leaderboard. Congratulations.
No, Fluffy Mittens guessed 6.
Oh, he got 6? Oh my goodness, that was the closest guess?
Wow. Yeah, because nobody was going for small numbers.
Wow.
All right, so Furaime heading up Ganon's Tower now. There is one boss on the way up that can be a Trinex. The Landmo 2 room can be a Trinex. Moldorm 2 cannot be Trinex.
Probably too small spaces is the reason why for that.
Trinex just in general cannot be in a room that is more than one room.
Ah, I know Landmo has that problem too. I've seen that before.
Landmo used to be able to be on those rooms.
So if you want to see something horrible here, guys, hope for a Trinex. Get those bless RNGs in chat for a Trinex. So to those coming in late and wondering why Solski forfeit, he had a couple of bad deaths to a couple of blind fights, one of which was in the Mothula room, and Furaime also had trouble with that fight, but did eventually find a way to pull that off, and Solski just went ahead and forfeit. For Solski also felt bad because Furaime had a power outage, which means that he had some lost progress, and Furaime comes across Helmusar King. This is where you're hiding, dude, in the sand pits of Ganon's Tower.
Alright, so that does it. No Trinexes required today. There is still the possibility that a Trinex exists. It would have to be on Ice Armos.
Yeah, it would have
we're not gonna see Ice Armos, so.
And that's also 3 more bosses we're not gonna see today either. 3 of which we know were expurged from the pool, or expunged from the pool. We haven't seen any Armos Knights, Landmolas, or Moldorms today. Everything has been a harder Dark World boss fight. One could still be upstairs.
Right.
That also means we're not going to know where the Ice Rod is today. Now, a little thing about these rooms. These are the rooms where the Wizrobe usually occurs. You just drop a Chaos Faria block and kill the room instantly. Obviously, it's not as easy because the enemies are not Wizrobes. They are different enemies, and some may not even be affected by the cane as badly as the Wizrobes are.
So, interestingly enough, the Gibdos there, the mummies, the silver arrows will kill them in one shot. The normal arrows don't do anything to them.
Of course, with the silver arrows not working outside Ganon's room, that means that they don't do anything.
Right. You won't be able to use that here at all. But, yeah, just in general, that's the way it works. And it's really strange to me.
I'm going to get his magic refill. Very useful where magic gets purged in mass quantities. Not checking the other chest at all. Nothing he needs. Dropping a few bombs. Dropping another lovely bomb for the beetle. He is checking this chest, getting a few more blueberries.
And we've got Moth.
I think that was our second Moth today.
Yeah, Moth in this room is pretty easy as well.
Yeah, not as bad. And notice the spikes hanging out underneath that basically don't affect the fight at all.
Oh yeah, that thing is stunned when you do the bomb. So if you had killed the beetle after hitting it with the bomb, you could see what the stun prize is.
Yeah, the bomb stun. Yeah, the bomb stun. That's right. That still does exist. And there's the Mothula map, which was just downstairs. And we're now in the trigonometry fight, and this will probably be a double, I would imagine. Was that a triple?
Possibly. I think it might have only counted for 2.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think that's right. So probably 2 and 2. That was a blue ball as well.
Yeah, it was definitely the first one.
2, 2, 2.
Furaime is nothing if not consistent.
And the fun things of Randomizer are the different sprites that show up. That wasn't really a bat.
Yeah, if you want to see some fun stuff, stick around for the credits.
Pretty much.
Randomizer credits are weird.
And some may cause nightmares. So Furaime's setting up on the Gan fight right now. Phase 1, he just throws the trident around. Phase 2, he swings it in the air, and that's where we are right now. Oh no, still Phase 1. Because Master Sword has to take a lot of spin hits.
Yeah, you need 12 spins.
Yep. Master Sword
got
Gan
ourselves
is definitely
in a good
a slower
spot.
fight. Oh, he took a death! Ouch.
I think he thought he was on Phase 2, and he wasn't.
Yeah, I think that's right. Gonna give it another good old try here. Now you have to do the hits as the spin attacks here, which means you're going to be going for a little while before you can actually start dealing with the fire bats. So Master Sword again, and even with silvers, the first 3 phases are a lot more difficult.
That will be Phase 2.
Yeah, we should be in Phase 2 now, I think. There it is. So now just trying to avoid the fire bats, making sure he doesn't take well, let's say any unnecessary damage. I think that was about 5 or 6 hits so far. That might be 6 right there.
Oh, and he's got the sweet spot.
Oh, he's got the God spot. There we go. He's gonna have to dodge the fire bats now, though. So he gets out of there after 4 hits. Needs 2 more. Gonna get them both right. Oh no, he got enough. He's in Phase 3. There we go.
Oh yeah. So into Phase 3. From this point on, it becomes a little bit less difficult.
Significantly.
Especially with the silver arrows on hand to finish this off.
The silver arrows make it trivial. He just has to wait for the last bit of tiles, get the torch switch if he can. Will he get it? Will he go for it? He went for the double instead. I think he got both. I'm not sure.
I believe so.
I think he did. And that's another double, and that's the fight. Ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs in chat, as Furaime is going to take this race and this series 2-0 over Solski. He just has to cross one more endomized bridge of a 3x1 tiles, which causes no problem.
And the official time for Furaime, 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 54 seconds. Congratulations. I mean, with a power outage that cost you the C, cost you a bunch of progress, and all sorts of things, that is an excellent time to come back from on that.
And even from when you consider the seed itself, that was just some of the boss locations that were just horrible. And by the way, here are your Randomizer ending credits. Oh my goodness, what is that? Where some of the bosses were in the seed, it just made it a horrible seed to play as well. And of course, the seed comes back at you after you get the Triforce room. Cool seed, right?
How about no?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right, so
let's see if we can get Furaime in here.
Well, he's in chat at the very least.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if he's particularly interested in coming in to talk, but we'll see. Anyway,
we'll get a confirmation of that here. So while we wait for that, we'll get some information as to some other races coming up on the schedule here. Just have to load that back up here, and I will go over that with you. So some other races that are going on the so-called out-of-town scoreboard here today. We do have a race that is about to start between Kyong92 and Super Nintendo. Kyong92 is our #1 seed in the entire bracket phase right now. Went 15-0 in the pools. And that is going on Speed Gaming 3 right now. They're doing an all dungeons standard swordless seed, normal difficulty, and no variations, nothing like what you just saw here.
And if I'm not mistaken, that is game 3 of that match. Like
that might be correct. So
SNT took one off of Kyong, so
very good.
It's going to be
very good fight.
Very interesting.
Yeah, definitely go check that one out when we're done here. And we do have Gland versus Weighty Words going on in Hour as well. They're doing the same kind of seed, except it's an open key sanity. They're still doing a normal swordless, but it's an open key sanity. So that's going on Speed Gaming 5 in about 1 hour. And it looks like that's about the bulk of the races for today. Nothing scheduled for tomorrow. Of course, something may come up last minute, but as of now, we have nothing for tomorrow.
And of course, if you're interested in joining some of the community races, the Speed Gaming Daily Race is coming up in about 30 minutes, and that's going to be another one of the festive seeds, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah, the festive seeds are going on right now, and that is a limited time thing. I actually have to get a few of those myself and try them out, so I will try and do that during my winter break here. In the meantime, it looks like Furaime will not be joining us in chat, so he is, or not in the voice call anyway, he is joining us in the regular chat right now. So I'll just go over a couple other events going on the Speed Gaming Network, and then we can probably wrap up from a couple other events I see going on. There is a Deltarune race that I don't see a channel assigned to yet. Hopefully we'll get that in there, but if not, you can find those runners and go watch that one. Super Metroid has a weekly race going on, any percent, which is one of the more popular categories. That's at 11 p.m. And looking ahead to tomorrow, I do see... I think coming into the Christmas period, the holiday period, we're not seeing a lot going on, but one event I do want to tout for tomorrow is the championship race for The Messenger. We had The Messenger tournament going on here on Speed Gaming. The championship race is tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And I also see some Metroid Zero Mission and some Deltarune on the schedule for tomorrow as well. A Super Mario World race at 6 p.m. as well. So there's some things you can check out tomorrow as well. Get more information on that by going to speedgaming.org/schedule or just typing !schedule in chat. The tournament page is speedgaming.org/ALTTPR, also found through !schedule. So, Dr. Bob, any final thoughts you have on this seed today?
Don't let me do anything remotely resembling this ever.
I agree with that. I will follow you on that one. I'm not touching these kinds of seeds myself. So, with that said, one moment. Okay, that's taken care of. With that said, I want to just say follow all of our channels, Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 236. And you can also follow a link to the past, or ALTTP Randomizer and ALTTP Randomizer 2 through 5, if I can get that out. Those 11 channels will give you pretty much almost everything you could ever ask for your link to the past needs, aside from watching streamers themselves. Speaking of which, follow these two wonderful runners, Furaime and Solski. They went through literal chaos today, and they definitely deserve your support. They definitely deserve to they definitely love having people around their streams as well to chat with as they play the games. Definitely a lot of fun watching very difficult rando like this and having runners who actually like playing this kind of a seed, because I'm definitely not going to. Neither is Bob.
I mean, there'll probably be some time where I decide to do something like this for dumb reasons, but it'll take me 7 years. Anyway, so thanks a lot, everyone, for watching again, and of course, the runners here did an excellent job, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
Exactly, and it was a fun race to watch as well. Fun to see some of these Randomizer combinations, no matter what the situation. Always fun to see that. We're going to wait for Furaime's stats to come up here, and then after that, we are going to end the broadcast here. So with that said, unless Bob has any final words, I just want to wish everyone here a wonderful, wonderful evening, and see you over at, if you're watching on the YouTube playlist, the races I just mentioned as coming up here on the Speed Gaming Network, they're probably going to follow this around this point in the playlist. So you can just keep an eye out for those in the playlist right after this. Other than that, those of you in the live channel, see you over at Speed Gaming 3 and Speed Gaming 5 this evening. Good night, everybody.
All right. We do have the very important stuff coming up on the tracker right here, or on the on the credits. The sword, yeah. As we know, the swords were very early in this. The mirror was pretty early. The boots, turns out, Furaime got that a little late, but that was after he'd already done it once. And of course, the GT Big T first chest. It's quite a bit of menu time, but that was mostly pause buffering. And the collection rate of 159, it looks like. So,
and there it is.
Pretty good collection rate, to be fair, for an all dungeon seed. All right, thank you everybody once again for watching, and we will see you later, everybody.
Good night.